Cool. Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome. For anybody watching the VOD, hi, my name is Ashley. I do a lot of like character and creature concept sculpting, a lot of abstract stuff during these segments on this channel. So basically what we like to do here is take a sphere and mash it into a whole bunch of random shapes and kind of see where it goes from there. There's not really like any heavy reference using, usually just kind of going with shapes and in a sense like cloud watching, but with a sphere. So if that's your thing, we're doing it for 4 hours. This isn't really supposed to be for anything in particular other than the act of sketching and having fun itself. So you know, if I ever wanted to actually clean this up and bring it into, you know, a game engine or use it for an animation or printing or anything like that, you can always clean it up later and optimize it later. But as it stands, what we do usually during these segments is just sketch, just have fun. So if that's your thing, then that's what we're going to be doing today. And if you ever want, I'm just going to put it up front because this is in my channel. I just come here once every so often. But if you're interested in watching my streams more frequently, there is a acubed.art/links, and you can go and check out my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/acubed. And I'm there live every Monday and Thursday. So if you want even more of this, that's where I'm at usually. Otherwise, I'll be popping in here every once in a while just to say hey, answer some questions, have a good time for 4 hours. You know how it is. Hey Leonard, how's it going? Welcome. Let me just finish getting set up and we will be good to go-sies. Good to go-sies. Alright. Oh my gosh. Monty's hairs are everywhere today. Haven't listened to some stream beats in a minute. So what are we gonna create today? I don't know. It's good. Feels weird. Feels weird. Why does it feel weird? Why are you feeling weird? So usually when I'm like starting my sketches, I like to just kind of, you know, I'm looking for shapes and some interesting things that are happening, especially when there's not really like anything going on. There's no ideas at first. I'm just kind of pushing and pulling, seeing where it leads. Like, and there's some kind of like a jaw structure thing going on right here. I like to stay zoomed out as I'm doing this. Masking and pulling things is usually the way to go for me. Hey Eeg, I'm sorry, I can't read what that says, but hello, welcome. Because you're the only one here. There's a few people. They're just quiet. They're lurking. What are we doing today? We're sketching, Max. We're sketching. There's commercials? Are there really? I guess you could go to YouTube probably doesn't, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, maybe like this whole like area right here is like some kind of like a split open jaw, and then this is just like the bottom jaw. And then we can grab here. Oh, looks like he wants to be a demon man. Health and happiness from Russia. I'll take it. I'll take some health and happiness. I wish you the same, dude. Oh, Elvis. Yes, the Elvis demon. Get him some peanut butter and nana sandwiches. Thank you very much, demon. Oh my god, I thought you weren't allowed on this channel. What are you doing here, Thirsty? What are you doing? Ooh, what is this? Oh, who are you? Oh, wow. Comes in here pretending like... Anyways. What are you doing here? Lurk and work. Do it up. Do it up. That's what we do here. That's like the whole thing. It's like lurk, work, questions? Lurk, work, questions? Actually, wait, let me, you know what? I really want to like mess up the top jaw here. Like it's almost like the whole thing is just like curled. So like the bottom jaw just exists as the bottom jaw. But then the whole top part is like totally cooked. And like, I think that would be kind of neat. Lurk work. Twerking is optional, but the lurk and the work, that's the whole point of this. The twerking usually comes when the sculpt gets a booty later on. Not now. I'm gonna like separate this. Gonna close holes on both of these guys. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, look at that. We're gonna delete that little bit, that little sliver. We don't want that little sliver. Deleterino, close holes. There we go. this one, we are going to give it a mesh. And I will continue to mess it up. Hey Ash, how are you doing? I'm also Ash. One Ash to another Ash. How's it ashin'? How's it ashin', Ash? Why does Big Dog have a big old tongue? Why not? Why not? Why can't he have a big old tongue? No, look, I'm trying to like do something. Trying to do something here. Okay? Trying to do something. We'll see if it works. Teeth! Aha, you thought. But they're just giant teeth! A giant tooth, the demon. We're gonna like pull its nose bit. Totally being stretched. Oh yeah. And then this bottom bit. Hey Seb, how you doing? As a big dog's gonna be stretched as heck. I'm gonna pull some tendrils. Split mask here. Big fan of just throwing down some curved tubes and using that as geometry to then sculpt on. Big fan. Should do it more often. Okay, so this is, I have to create some sort of like a backwards bone structure. Kind of like, it's almost like rodent up here. A little bit of rodent going on. Unfair to the rats, because you know, rats are awesome. No shade to the rodents. Not saying rodents are demons. But this one happens to be, I guess. More than 2 seconds without some snake hook action, you were getting worried. Oh, no, no, no. Snake Hook's always in there. We're always going back and forth from Snake Hook. Come on now. Come on now. What do you think this is? What do you think this stream is? Who do you think I am? This bottom guy. Let's do a quick Dynamesh. Yeah, perfect fit. What a perfect fit. I don't know about this actually. I think I'm not gonna have like eyes in like that. Maybe I'll just like really like stretch all of this like way down. Create like a really big circle here. The ambassador for Snake Hook. Might as well be my middle name at this point, right? I was gonna say, you just call me Ash the Snake Hooker. That's probably a bad name. Probably not what you want to call me. I don't think that's a good name. Now, I did say that I would behave myself because we're on this channel, so I have to behave myself, so I can't be saying too many things. Can't be doing that. Expect you guys to hold me accountable for my words. I think it would be cool if I like really drag the teeth like way up there. Way up there. I think you are correct. Probably a bad name. Probably not the best. Are we gonna give it arms? Do we want arms? I might want arms. Arms for the rat god. The mole god. Maybe snake goddess or queen might sound weird. I gotta say something more neutral. And then, yeah, and then I open my mouth. Should take my talking rights away. Just sculpt. We have to behave ourselves. Be good. Be good. We're family friendly. Has anybody watched any good new movies or shows lately? Looking for some horror recs. Some good horror recommendations. I know that like there's a few things in theater that I'm still waiting to see. Like there's the Obsession movie. And then there's like Hokum as well. Murder Bit on Apple TV. Murder Bit. Is that thing that you were trying to tell me about before? Is it the sci-fi one? Or Murderbot? Yeah, it's Murderbot you mean, right? In the Mouth of Madness. Right, yeah, you told me to watch that one. Murderbot, yeah. Okay, so on Apple, then there's also Widow's Bay that I wanted to look at. That looks like on Apple. That looks like a good vibe as well. Wait, is Murderbot? I mean, it's got the word murder in it, but is Murderbot a horror, like a sci-fi horror? Or was it like a comedy? I thought you said it was a comedy. Maybe it can be both. I don't really know. Dark sci-fi comedy. Gotcha. Yeah, I want some spooks, man. I want some spooks. Also, I'm putting In the Mouth of Madness on the back burner because remember, we're gonna be jumping back into that nonsense on Friday with Outlast 2. So I think I'll be mad enough for a while. Crazy enough. Well, this is a fun shape. Big old circle thing. Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Yeah, Apple's got a lot of really good originals. That'll probably be my next sub. I'm racking up the things that I want to watch on Apple. Haven't been watching much lately. Yeah, fair. I haven't watched a whole ton. Usually when it comes to like my subscriptions, I like cycle them, right? I'm not like constantly watching stuff. One at a time. Ladies, one at a time. Men. Ladies, can you tell me where the men are at? Men. Ladies. We do family share. Each member of the family has a subscription. That's also efficient. In this economy, who's got all the subs? Who's got all the subs? Not me. I just make a list of stuff that I want to watch per sub. Write it down. And then when it like racks up enough that I'm like, yeah, that'll keep me very busy for an entire like month. Then that's when I like switch over to that sub. Do I know anything about jewelry? I wear it. I wear jewelry. Oh, does that count? In terms of jewelry making, no, not really. There are a couple of people who have streamed on this channel though that you should check out their past streams, or even just like their socials or something. You can maybe even check out, like, they probably have tutorials. That would be Nacho and Tomas. Those two are big jewelry guys. I'm sure that there's like a few others, but those two very knowledgeable about jewelry in general. Yeah, for ZBrush, yeah. Yeah, and, not me. I don't know very much. I only recently got a 3D printer and it's FDM, so. Played any games developed by Don't Nod? I'm pretty sure I have. Hold on, wait, let's see. Let's see. Don't Nod. What are their games again? Life is... yeah, I've played Life is Strange. That was really good. I know you, yeah, you watch me, but I don't have all the answers, right? That's the beauty of following multiple artists. Wait, is my, yeah, it's named that. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Life is Strange was a great game. How dare you not have the only... Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, if something is asked enough, then I'll be like, okay, if I don't know how to do that thing, I guess I'll learn for you guys. Next on the menu is array mesh. I don't use that a lot in ZBrush, but there's a running thing on my channel right now where everybody wants array mesh tutorial. So I guess I'll bag array mesh. Like, this is how you do it. All the little tricks about array mesh. You did start it. Switched to Blender and broke the chance. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a forbidden word on this channel. That's a scary word. I enjoy Life is Strange 1 and 2 so much. Really great stories. Yeah, they were really good games. I enjoyed them a lot too. It was great storytelling. I think that's like the main thing, is like it kept you going. Like there was no real like dull parts where you're like, I don't care about what you're talking about. Everything, like the mystery of it kept going very, very well. And like, I guess like the atmosphere of it as well really put you in the shoes of like, hey, yeah, I'm a kid again, trying to figure it out. Yeah, no, I know. I know. I'm not gonna turn this into an array mesh stream because like I'd be fuddling with it myself because I do not use it very much. I know I was joking about that, but I feel like that would be frustrating for everybody. One thing though, if you do want to be using array mesh, just make sure that you are not using it with the gizmo as much as the transpose, the actual transpose tool. So if you press W, you got your gizmo. Take that, take this gizmo 3D off. Now you have the transpose line. That works. There's a lot more that you can do with the array mesh in terms of positioning and everything with the actual transpose line. Z-spheres! What do you want? You want something? Do you have a question about Z-spheres? Do you have a question about Z-spheres, Leonard? Z-cubes! I don't know if you want to like turn the entire thing. Turn it. Turn it. Turn it. What are we doing with you? I don't like whatever I've got going on here. I'm just gonna inflate this and then Z-sphere. Now I've got Z-spheres on the mind. Turn it into the back. Guess we're doing quadruped. Or more. Maybe we're doing more than just quadruped. I don't know. Damage that. Actually, we'll do it lower. You got a good workflow for that? Alright, good. No, that's good. That's good. If you do have questions, lay them on me. That's what I'm here for. My camera's up there, dude. Camera is up there. this guy, you know what I'm gonna do with this? I'm gonna like stretch it out. I'm gonna grab both of these pieces right here, and I want to make it a little bit more interesting than just like circle. It's not very exaggerated right now. We can come right here. Yes. Yes. Kind of an amalgamation of like a human slash rat. Hey Stowe, how's it going? How's it going, dude? How are you? How are you? How's your chonker? Your chonker doing good? Doing a little better, hopefully. Yeah, I'm gonna like pull all of this up. It needs like an actual... Needs some actual neck action here. Ew. Ew. Creepy. Hey Paul, how are you? Delete the lower res there. Trying to learn ZBrush, but you're so far to achieve this kind of result. No, it's honestly a lot faster than you would think. If you just spend the time in the program, a lot of it just ends up being like your muscle memory. Like, so how easy is it for you to jump from hotkey to hotkey, tool to tool that you need, and then once you have that in the bag, like it becomes a lot faster for you to just kind of like throw down shapes. So really all I'm doing is just like looking for shapes here, right? Yeah, I'm not really like a fan of whatever's going on with this body part, so I'm gonna like delete this because this is not, I'm not vibing with it. Like it's not doing anything for me. I'm deleting that as well. And I'm gonna try something else here. ZBrush wasn't streaming since months or even a year ago. ZBrush has been, ZBrush Live has been going. It's been going. I haven't been on here for a little bit myself, but I am streaming very regularly over on my own Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/acubed. You can get like any of the links right here, acubed.art/links, if you're interested in actually like hanging out on my own personal streams and stuff and getting like a weekly dose of the ash. Are you a hot dog? You know, I'm gonna let him out of this room. It's pretty hot in here. Just give me 1 sec. Are you a hot dog? Here, buddy. Sorry about that. Just have to set up the AC. It's not set up yet, and it's getting hot in here around this time. Don't want him to overheat. You might hear him barking in the background occasionally, though. Let's get here. Oh, yeah. Nice little rat person. You think I should give it eyes, or should I leave it as like hollow vacant? Playing the piano. You work on Rhino almost for 20 years. It's a big challenge because it's like a different workflow. I understand that. I think the biggest thing is to try and just think of it like it's nothing it's nothing alike. You're learning like a completely new skill when you're approaching it. So then you don't try to, you know, use the familiarities that you have with Rhino, for example, as you're trying to learn the ZBrush UI. Like it's completely different, and you can treat it more like, I like to call it like my artist table, right? So I've got like my paintbrushes over here, and I've got my paints over here, and then I've got my drawing tools up here, etc., etc. It's all easy to grab wherever I actually want it personally, which is nice about the ZBrush UI. It kind of works that way. It's like you put the tools that you need where you need them. Oh, that's late. You should go to sleep. There are VODs for this too, so you don't need to worry if you miss it. You can always catch up on it. Difficult to use the pen to sculpt. Do you have like a regular tablet then? Like one that's just directly onto the desk? Because that does require some hand-eye coordination for sure. About jewelry design? Yeah, that's good. If you're interested in like other people who are into jewelry design, like I was saying, I think Nacho streams, which have been here, and then also Tomas's older streams. Not sure if he's gonna be coming back, but he streamed here a lot, so he has a lot of like what's it called? Oh, there he is. Here's Monty. Here's Monty being upset that the world exists. He has like Tomas has like a lot of critique streams that are up on this channel. An X pen? No. I'm using a Wacom Cintiq. Wacom. Not sure what it is. Doing some freeform hand sculpting. Some gnarly claws. XP pen? Yeah, I'm sure they are. Honestly, anything that gets the job done, like, you don't necessarily need to have an on-screen tablet either, like me. It does help for hand-eye coordination, obviously, but the desktop tablets are just fine. I highly wouldn't recommend sculpting with a mouse, though. I know there are people that do it, but the pressure sensitivity that you get from using an actual tablet is far superior. Hey, John. Hey, Leonard. Leonardy. There you are. When going from a modeling program to a sculpting program, think big shapes and movement to define the shape. You went from AutoCAD to Form Z Rhino to ZBrush. Yeah, sculpting is, I mean, I guess it also depends on, like, what is it that you're gonna be doing? What's the purpose of it? Right? So sculpting software like this really facilitates the gestural aspect of sculpting, right? Like the actual, like, art part of it. It can be as technical as you want it to be, but it also just really allows you to be freeform as an artist. And let it go. Let it go. Hey, Mike. Am I gonna dynamesh it? There, yeah, it's already been. I keep going in and dynameshing when I need to. Pulling and just allowing shapes to be kind of gross and abstract first, and then as I need to get more topology in there to define different shapes, then I dynamesh, right? Usually keep things low res until I need to hit it with that dynamesh like that. Hey, Revered. Followed me on Instagram. Congrat. Oh, for the artwork. Thank you. I'm glad you like my art. Appreciate it. You want to ask, since you run into the issue, is there a way to reconstruct subdivision without having triangles? So if you're reconstructing subdivisions, usually it's because you've already created them and like you wanted to like mirror it over, so you deleted the lower subdivisions, you mirrored it over, and now you're reconstructing those subdivision levels. If that's like what you're doing, usually it should just like reconstruct that way. I have never used it like in a oh, like, you know, this is my Uber mesh that I'm using for, that's already rigged in a pipeline, and I'm just doing some sculpting work on it, and now I need to, you know, go up, delete the lower, and then reconstruct the subdivision levels to recreate that Uber. Like, I've never done that, and I don't think that's a very safe way to work either. That's very destructive. I wouldn't rely on it to get you clean results all the time. So reconstructing subdiv I usually use in the sense that, like, you know, you need to mirror one thing over to the other side, and you can't do that because you have subdivision, so you delete the lower, you mirror it over, and then you reconstruct subdiv. That's like really the only context that I've ever used it in. Rever, you can absolutely get that skill. You just gotta do a lot of it. Do a lot of it. Like, when I say a lot of it, I mean a lot of it. I've been streaming on this channel. You can see, like, even the streams when I first started out on streaming, they aren't exactly, it's not like I was like super incredible at sculpting back then, you know? But the fact that I was doing it consistently, and I've been doing it consistently, has increased my abilities for sure, and they will keep going. It'll keep getting better and better. But you absolutely can get to this level and beyond. You just need to do it like a whole bunch. The only blocker is time. Oh, look, it's a flop. How's it going? How are you? Being an artist doesn't happen. No, it does not happen overnight. It absolutely doesn't. And like beyond like the sculpting that I started here, like before that, I was like, I was drawing so much. I drew since I was a kid, right? Like, but just because I've been doing this for my whole life doesn't mean that you can't just start. In fact, like, there is actual evidence to suggest that adults have it easier when it comes to actually learning a new skill, like quality, actual like quality learning of that new skill and practicing those techniques. Whereas like when you're younger, it's a different kind, like your brain is just absorbing information in a different way. And so when you're older, you're an adult and you're trying to do something new, there's a different level of critical thought that you're applying to the things that you're learning that actually can help cement that in a stronger way, as long as you're consistent. Whereas like when you're a kid, if you're doing things, it's almost like you don't have the pressures of the world, so it feels like everything's like, oh yeah, you start doing something as a kid, it's gonna be easier. But because the pressures of the world aren't on you to be doing other things, right? However, it doesn't mean that it's easier necessarily to pick things up and learn things as a kid on a actual like learning, like just isolating the learning aspect on its own, because your brain is now developed, so you will be able to pick things up. You just need the consistency. And like not to mention that like a lot of being a good artist is your ability to see and experience and take in the world around you and analyze the things that you're looking at. And that happens a lot more when you're an adult. So really the only thing left that's in your way from becoming a more interesting entry-level artist compared to like, you know, what you would be doing like as drills when you're younger would really just be your technical skill, like your hand-eye coordination. So as long as like you're practicing that, your thought process is, you can evolve as like an artist, your own artist, a lot more a lot easier, I guess. Like there's a freedom obviously to being a kid, right, that you don't really have as an adult anymore, but the actual ability to learn something new, it's not like you can't. Like that whole idea is old dog can't learn new tricks is not, it's just not true. Don't let that get you down. Yeah, I don't like referring to creating art as like efficient or, you know, your output or anything like that. Personally, I find that like, I think in order to be a good artist, like true to yourself, you need to actually push away the idea of efficiency and, you know, cutting corners and things like that, and you need to just sit there and do it and be with yourself. And this is outside of the context of being an industry artist or anything like that, because once you introduce money, then you're introducing efficiency, and everything is reductive down to the output that you create within the time frame that you have, rather than the actual artistry itself. And so when you are trying to grow as an artist and be true to yourself, I find it's better to refrain from that thought process of how can I get there as efficiently as possible, because you're going to cut corners in your learning process, in your self-discovery, etc. Hey Reaper, how are you doing? You're making your character for over 6 months now. Yeah, it could, some things can really take a lot of time. They really can. Now, within the context of like, you know, working as an industry artist, right? You know, you're gonna have deadlines, etc. But that's not necessarily like when you're working for a company, you're not doing art for yourself. So I'm talking about art for yourself. Like, what is it to be your own artist rather than somebody who's making content for a company or a corporation, right? Like they're two different things. You can be an artist doing that, but it's not like you're not doing art for you, right? And that's what I'm talking about. And growing as an artist, it's important to do art for you. Otherwise you're gonna burn out, really. It's a creative job, and when you reduce creativity down to efficiency, that's where that burnout happens. That's where you don't want to, that's where you just don't want to, and you end up not wanting to pursue the thing that you loved in the first place because it's sucked dry and reduced down to how efficient is it rather than how does it make you feel, right? The curmudgeon stage. Yeah, well. You gotta travel through the Valley of Suck. Everybody travels through the Valley of Suck. I've got a second home there, honestly. Renting. Oh, I'm not even renting. I'm a full home owner in the Valley of Suck. Got a whole address and everything. Shipping address, everything. All of it. Just bought a couch there. Working on creatures, so you do muscles with the standard brush, I assume? I actually never use a standard brush. I'm using clay buildup right now. See, when you soften clay buildup, it creates a sort of like, there's like a nice kind of skin striation that can happen here. You see that? So I just like, I've gotten into the habit of just like sketching over top of a lot of like the big landmarks, like the bony landmarks that I'm putting down. Hear that a lot, bony landmarks. If you're first starting out with any character creature stuff, you absolutely need to learn anatomy, and the bony landmarks are your big one. Bony freaking landmarks. This guy, I'm gonna do 2 elbows on this guy. That's freaky. That'll be a freaky 2 elbow. And your brushes I recommend for bone. Everything that I do when it comes to sculpt, do you mean alphas, like detailing? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, we're just sculpting from nothing. Just a sphere, mess it around, create something from it. From the top of the dome. Part of the fun, right? We're sketching. Because all of the all of the sculpting that I do for the base of everything is usually to do with masking, snake hook, clay buildup, Damien standard. Those are the big ones, and then I just build off of that. But in terms of bone, are we doing realistic? Is that what you're talking about? Because there's multiple things. When it comes to bone, you can look at it like there's like grooves in the actual bone. There's a bunch of like holes and like almost like fibrous structures too. So also it depends on which bones, right? If you have any kind of a alpha that does, I guess, a bunch of different holes, like something, you know, like wood even works well with bone. Wood and stone brushes work totally fine, and then you just sculpt on top of that for bone. Realistic, yeah. Wood and stone alphas usually, and then you can just sculpt on top of all of that. Anything that will create like those little holes. You can also get like a base of like a surface noise for the little holes and stuff. So like if you were to like, you know, create a area here with masking and then go down into like the surface noise section, we invert that. Wait, sorry. Noise. And then you can get some like holes started like this, and you can see how that can mimic that part of bone, right? And then you just mask the areas that you need. For the skull, and then so any of like the lines and stuff, you can use a Damien standard. You just need to increase the Z intensity, and then increase the focal increase the focal shift, make the actual brush small, and then you can do little hairline things in here as well. Bigger intensity you need to. And then another one too, if you wanted even more precision, you can go ahead and use the chisel brush right here, which this is using VDMs to create a mimicking the idea of like an actual chisel in real life that you would use to carve away your clay. So you can grab something with like a really sharp like edge here, and then go into the stroke, lazy mouse, and you're gonna want to like lower that because I don't know why they ship it with a very, very high lazy mouse. So you can lower that and then create your like little, you know, bone separations like this with the chisel brush. That works too. I would actually recommend something that might help you as well before you start going in on any of this is right over here. There's a morph target. You can say store morph target. And so then when you actually do your chisels like this, you can actually come over, say BM, grab your morph brush, and you can just erase or hold Alt to bring it back. And you can even like, yeah, it goes like even further in, exaggerate areas, or like, you know, come back, right? You can do all that, and then you can make it as you want. And you can switch between them to see what it's like on or off. So this is really good for details in general. I would recommend. All right, what are we doing? Blah, 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 blah. My pleasure. No problemo. Hey Gwen, how are you? How's it going? Oh my gosh, it's Alayla. How are you doing? How's it going? It's been a minute. How's Australia treating you? I think the last time we talked, you said that you just moved there. I think it's been a while, so probably like, what do you mean I just moved there? I haven't gone anywhere though. I've been streaming 2 times minimum a week over on my own channel, so I have not disappeared. If you are interested in watching me on my own channel, it is twitch.tv/acubed. You want to make sure that you're getting the goods. I put it in chat. You want to make sure that you don't miss more ball sculpts. That's what it be. That's what it do. Ball sculpting. Hey hostess. Are we allowed to discuss ski jumpers? You can discuss whatever you want, but I probably won't. I have to behave myself here. You know, look, I'm wearing the official ZBrush shirt and everything. Like, we're serious. We're super serious. 11 months, but they flew by so fast. It's been 11 months? Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, that's crazy. It's great though. Yeah, that's great. Nothing bit you yet. Let's keep it that way. It's a good thing that nothing's biting you. Fantastic. So much fun with you and the boys at the creature corner. Are you gonna make those kinds of streams anytime? Oh my gosh. Oh, it really sucks too that that ended up being like the last stream that they were doing. I didn't know that. I don't think they knew that either. That was a lot of fun. Alien Riders, dude. Alien Riders. I know Matt right now is going crazy with the big sculpts. He's been printing out his like his Cthulhu and his Deathclaw and everything. Like there's like a fishman that he printed them all out like 2 feet tall. They're crazy, crazy cool. I don't know, you've probably seen it, Winston, but he's been going nuts with that. Alien Riders. I can't do the voice. We need them to do the voice, you know? Yeah, they're so sick. It's killing it. You know, I'm gonna put eyeballs in this. I'm just gonna make him a freaky guy, dude. Like, small, beady. Let's dynamesh this guy. There you go. Man, it is hot in this room right now. My god, it's not even June, bro. Oh, I have to set up the AC either tonight or tomorrow. This is crazy. I feel like I'm melting away in here. Sorry if I like start falling asleep because it's so hot. Oh my gosh. Hey Lester. Max on streams, another creature corner. Yeah, I'm not really sure. They're kind of like hands off right now with the YouTube channel. It's become very volunteer, like if you want to, you can kind of thing. So I don't know if they're ever gonna do something like that. But maybe if you pester the guys enough, I can bring them on for a special stream on my own channel. We can do a return of the Alien Riders just for one night. Maybe if you harass them enough. Hey Carbon, what's the creature corner? It was a thing that the Gnomon channel was doing for a little while with Jared and Matt. And they would just do all things creature stuff, sometimes have guests on, and I was unfortunately their last guest alongside Hammy. And that was a lot of fun. It was very silly. Very silly, good vibes. Alien Riders. But that was a while ago. Hey Osmose, how are you? It's not osmosis, but multiple osmose. You are a herd of osmose. I love that name. It's great. Are those videos on YouTube? It was a live stream. I actually, you know what, let me go check for you because it's been a while now. Gnomon. Wait, Gnomon, Creature Corner. It's kind of a niche little thing. I mean, not like super niche, but where's the one that we were doing? Let's see. That is Alien Riders Part Okay, wait, where's here is the one that I think I was a part of. Oh my god. Dude, that it's just like it already brings it back, dude. It makes me so happy. It was only a year ago. It feels like it was like way longer. Here. There you go. Alien Riders, dude. Hammy, Matt, Jared, and unfortunately me. I like the idea here that like I'd be putting on like a whole bunch of teeth that are kind of growing into each other and just like teeth on teeth on teeth, you know? Hell yeah. There he is. There's Monty Boy being angry at everything in the background. 157 max on live streams in the playlist. Yeah, they haven't been updating the playlist. It's more than that. I have done a lot of streams for them. How does one fill color a subtool, like make it all one color? It's not a lot to ask. All you gotta do, let me just go back on this, so this is a little too goofy for me. All you gotta do is in color, right here, right? So you can see it. Color tab, fill object. Very easy. Make sure that your RGB is selected at the time that you select a different color. So I wanted this one to be red, for example, then I would just select red, come over to color, and then fill object with RGB on, and then you can turn to a different color, and you can see that subtool is now that color. And you can do the exact same thing with different materials. So if I wanted it to be also this toy plastic material, now I turn this to the material channel only, don't have RGB on anymore. Come over to color and then click fill object. And if you switch over to another material, you can see that the one that you filled is now on that subtool as well. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Very easy. I would recommend putting the fill object button somewhere on your UI as well, which is what I did. I put that right under here with my color select. Right over here, because it's on the right hand. I'm right-handed, so it's very easy for me to like grab my tools that I need. So I put them all right here, right? One forbidden. Don't. I can't block you for saying things here, Flop. So you better behave. You better not say the forbidden words. Do not invoke the forbidden words. Have I ever tried the Ryan's Tool plugin? I actually have not, but I have heard of it. A lot of people like that. Everybody has to behave. I had a question posted on my Discord. You were asking if there was a way to curve the line when holding shift while stroking in Debian Standard. You're gonna have to do a lazy mouse. I would do a lazy mouse if I were you. If you are using shift like this, like there is no, like, this is not a curve. It's just like you're dictating an angle to drag it out at. So if you wanted to create a curve, you're gonna want to use either lazy mouse, yeah, lazy mouse, or there's this other thing that you could technically try to do, which I don't use very often, but you can try to do it, is the ZBrush. Where is it? Where are we at? This chisel, like the scribe chisel, and that will allow you to use a curve. Yeah, it's not, I don't use it very often, but basically the idea is that you use the curve to dictate where the line is gonna go. So you can use that as well. Am I gonna sculpt anything for Mermaid? I did a really quick sketch of a like Capricorn-y type thing on my channel. Wait, I haven't even saved once. Where are my saving angels? Where are my saviors that tell me and remind me, my empty brain, to save things? I'm gonna call this Rat Boy. You guys aren't telling me to save anything. Oh, this is loading. Whoops. I need to save. My bad. I gotta save this. Save. Yeah, I guess like the here's the sketch that I did on my own channel of like the Capricorn-y thing. Yeah. Didn't finish it obviously, but that's that. The best plugin also makes fill color very easily. Yeah, you can also for sure, I totally understand that. I use the subtool master and then I just do fill, and then you have an option here to select material, color material, or whatever, and then it'll go through all your subtools and fill them in, kind of thing. I'm not sure if the VOD is still up. You know what I should do is I should just like upload to my actual, like, my very old out of use YouTube channel, all of the VODs that I do on my Twitch channel. I should really just do that as I finish them, just so that they're there. That's like work, that's effort, you know? Did you do anything for Mermaid, Layla? Contemplating making something mermaid. Oh, you haven't yet. Okay. Yeah, you should. May is still young-ish. You still have some days. You guess you'll stick to your lazy mouse? You were hoping it would be able to do so. Yeah, it doesn't have like something like that. Like if you're using curve, like you use like pen curve tool, right? But that is going to create a mask for you. So it's not really like the same. It's not like you can just like dot out things. It's not the same kind of like curve function that you would have inside of Maya or whatever. It operates differently. Maybe I should like should I give him more arms? Like if I duplicate this? The guy with a whole bunch of arms. He just got so much arms. Look at all these arms. Arm action. Arm nation. Arm army. Hi, Maxim. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. The knife tool or a slice when pressing Alt? Yeah, no, I know. I know. You can't do that with like the stroke specifically. You can do, like I said, like there's like the pen sorry. Oh my goodness. Mass curve pen, right? And then there's also mass curve. And then you can go alongside that, for example. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta put the leggies down on this guy. Merge them all down. We'll just dynamesh them together. Guy's not gonna have any booty. He's just gonna have big spikes. No booty, just spike. Spike butt. He can't sit. He must prowl. He must roam. He's doomed to roam forever. Anti-sitting design. It's like those cursed benches. Those really, like, inhumane anti-homeless benches, but for your butt. That's what I'm doing to him right now. No sitting allowed. Only spikes. Menacingly innocent. Doing your own ball sculpts and just look back over. Yeah, dude, do some ball sculpts, man. Do them. Do them. They're fun. Thirsty. What program is this? It's Roblox. Did you know that you could sculpt like this in Roblox? It's Roblox. We're on the Roblox channel right now. It's no, it's not Minecraft, it's Roblox. Get it right. Oh, right. For other people who are watching from my channel, just letting you know, anybody who is looking for the game VODs, like the gaming VODs, I did make the YouTube channel, like I promised. I put it in the announcement tab in the Discord, okay? It's there for you. So if you want to watch or skim through Outlast 1 before we start Outlast 2, it's there for you. I did fast forward a few parts because I am stupid and I got stuck on things and that's really annoying to watch, but other than that, like, very minimal editing. Just kind of like dump them there. 1 cube or 3 cube? What? Say what? What are we talking about? Watch some people sculpt things in 3D. There's this 1 cube lady who sculpts. Yeah, I might sculpt. Sometimes I sculpt. Most of the time I'm talking about like butts though. It's weird. I don't really know why. It just, something comes over me and I have to talk about the butts. The booties. My stream. It's a little extreme. Is it? Or do I just say the word like, okay, I gotta be chill. I gotta be chill. I gotta be chill. I gotta be chill. Look, I'm wearing the official ZBrush shirt. We're chill. We're chill today. This is not my channel. We're on... Yes, you don't have to tell me to behave. I'm behaving. You behave. Stop trying to trigger me. Hey Sonic, how's it going? How you doing? I mean, regardless, I'm still creating that pubic bone there. That's still happening. Yeah, I just like, I guess I turn into like a 5-year-old, honestly, on my own streams. I'm like, oh my god, this word is so much fun to say, and the word is suckle. And then I just keep saying that over and over again. I need people to tell me to behave, otherwise I'm just gonna go off the deep end, dude. See, look, I'm already like, okay, no, chill. Like, this is what I was telling you. Like, you know, when I was working in-house, that open floor concept was like a nightmare because just like go around like a chatty chat. It did come from a sphere, Thirsty. It was a new ball who dis moment. Save! Okay, I will. It was born from a sphere. It didn't fall from a coconut tree, and it doesn't exist within the context of everything that came before it. Simply born from a sphere. Need a bonk stick emote? I have one. I have one. Here you go. Hee Forgot about Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot likes to it's you can only, I think you can only use like three emotes in a row. If you use more than 3, it starts getting mad. Do I work for a company or freelance? Yeah, just freelance. Just freelance. Honestly, that's where a lot of the industry is and has been going, is contract work. A lot of it is contract work. Even if they're hiring in studio, it ends up being in-house contract work. So you get a full-time job, congratulations. That's incredible. warned for putting up 4 Monty. Yeah, you need only 3. I'm pretty sure Nightbot, here, let me show you. Look. Pretty sure Nightbot allows for 3. Yeah. But the second that you put 4... Oh! I'm exempt. I'm exempt because I am a mod, apparently. I am above the law. Never mind. I'm pretty sure it's 3, though. Nightbot deprived you of a raffle? Dude, Nightbot is so narc. You should just name Nightbot Randall, am I right? That's a joke from my stream, because like we were looking up like Randalls. Like why are all Randalls in media like narc coded? They absolutely are all snitches. They're like snitch, absolutely all of them snitch characters. Name a Randall that isn't. They're very few and far between. Nightbot, more like Randallbot. Someone contacted me to do art for a 10-page comic book. Then he said he wrote it. Ugh! Comics! Please, dude. If they're not gonna put in the effort to write it themselves, why should you put in the effort to draw it? Let's be real here. Am I following any concept? No, off the top of the noggin. Just having fun sketching. As it be. We gotta get some feetsies in here. We gotta put some little toesy woesies. Append a cube. Dude, we didn't even use any IMMs today. We straight up just cylinders and spheres all the way. Also, how you doing, Al? He didn't write anything, but the script was trash is why he admitted that. And like, man, why? Like, what's the point? Anyways, comments don't, you're gonna get me riled right now. I'm like, don't rile me on that one. Just don't see the point. I don't see why. Like, why are you even bothering then? There's no point. People who do that. It's like, it's the same reason I can't go on LinkedIn anymore. Like, it drives me insane. If you guys haven't, like, noticed, like, all the LinkedIn posts, it's like, everybody who's using ChatGPT, it all sounds exactly the same. It all is, it's not this, it's this. It's not this, it's this. It's not this, it's this. I'm like, if you're not gonna bother taking the time to write it yourself, then why should I spend the time reading it? Like, what? So I can't, LinkedIn is off limits to me, dude. They usually are very confident. Very, very confident. I think, that's kind of, yeah. Anyways. Is it frowned upon? No, you can do whatever you want. No, no, no. Use IMMs. I use IMMs all the time. Whatever gets you what you need to get done. Like, it's fine. If you're doing anatomy studies, like, and you don't have the proportions down locked, like, you don't know how, like, you don't know the basics of anatomy, I would recommend you don't do that right away, right? Just so that you can learn that. But otherwise, it's like, if you want to, like, use an IMM to get started, there is nothing wrong with that at all. No, don't let other people tell you, like, oh, using, like, this is frowned upon, like, you're not a real artist or whatever. Like, don't let people do that. Unless, of course, you're using AI, in which case, yeah, people are gonna do that because they're not wrong. That's the only one. Only one that's frowned upon is using AI. Everything else, free game. What's an IMM? An IMM is an insert multi-mesh. So if I go BI and then we have a whole bunch of them right here. Whoops. BI. We have a whole bunch of them right here. And they are basically brushes that contain a whole bunch of low-res meshes that you can insert onto your sculpt and start sculpting from. So if I say IMM body parts over here, then there's a whole bunch of like things that you can start from, like this really low res arm, for example. And if you wanted to start sculpting on top of that, you absolutely can. And there's a lot of sketches that I'll just like drop, you know, a leg in or something like that. With this one, I'm just doing spheres, but you can use like body parts. There's like other things in here as well, like, you know, primitive shapes. You can do IMMs for primitive shapes. You can do model kits. You can do clothing. Lots of stuff to play here. Zippers, for example, is a really common one to use. IMMs. You got one for hands, yeah. And a bunch of emojis in their text. Yeah, perfect place for arms, like right here. I agree. Gotta make sure that he's not like off balance here. So I'm gonna take the whole thing. Where is the floor? There we go. I'm just gonna shrink him down. If I say append, I think it's like up there, so if I append like this, yeah, it's up there. If I grab everybody. Pull them up here. Be easier to deal with. This one, I'm just gonna delete arenos. Don't need that. right, let's make these legs work. Work, baby. Oh my gosh, look at these beautiful Barbie legs. Yeah, like a lot. Yeah, exactly. Libraries of base meshes, basically, and you can make your own too, which is really helpful, especially if you're working on a custom project. Do I usually have a portfolio that I use to show people that want to hire you, or is it just like your socials are your portfolio? Pretty much at this point, my socials are my portfolio. There are some things that are just like they're in like a constant state of NDA purgatory that I can never like show a lot of the professional work that I've worked on. Like I can't, there's so much professional work that is so heavily protected by NDA that I can't show any of it, and I haven't been able to for years, which is why you don't see a lot of like the stuff that I do professionally on my pages. I don't put that up there or anything like that, and I would rather be my own artist anyways, so it works out because I do a lot of my own art anyways. But yeah, I can't share a lot of the stuff that I've worked on, and so if there is a contact that reaches out and they do need something, like they need to see something that I've done, like, you know, professional like models or something like that, then there is some password protected stuff that I can set up just specifically for their eyes only within the context of like a meeting or something like that. But I can't be posting that stuff. Absolutely not. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis. I haven't watched the last episode. I just don't understand how they're gonna like, I don't understand how they're gonna like wrap all that up, honestly. Like there's too much. There's too much. Like how the heck? That's like literally supposed to be the final episode. I don't know, man. I don't know. Also, hi Mecca, how's it going? You showed before how to fix your object when it becomes all holy and stuff. Yeah, if you've got like a Swiss cheese mesh, come down into geometry, mesh integrity, and then fix your mesh. So undo the Swiss cheese. Like if there's a lot of Swiss cheese happening, undo that with like, cause that probably happened with Dynamesh. And then you're gonna wanna fix mesh, and then you can try re-dynameshing again. It should fix that. Because usually what happens is there's non-manifold geometry that's been created as you've been going, and Dynamesh is just like, yo, no, I don't understand what's happening, and then it creates cheese from it. If you just have like a bunch of holes just like here, there, or whatever, and you want to close them, there is also in modified topology a close holes option right here. They don't even let you ask or file a petition, or is it because it's not published work? A lot of it isn't published or released work, canceled projects, and also the NDAs that a lot of freelancers have to sign. They go for a certain period of time. Sometimes it ranges for just 1 year if you're lucky. Like, oh, once you've signed, you for a whole year you can't say or do anything or share anything. Okay, cool. Sometimes though it's like 10 years, right? And a lot of the things that I've signed, you know, especially with bigger companies, the NDAs are very, very constricting. So kind of can't do much with that. It just is what it is. But it's not, for me, it's not the end of the world anyways, because like, at the end of the day, I'm a sculptor. If people see that they enjoy the sculpture work that I do, and they have seen that I've been working as a character artist and a concept artist, as well as an illustrator for different R&D projects, then if they see that's what they need, then they reach out, and that's good. That's good for both of us. Just based on like my personal work. I'd rather personally be hired for my personal work and what I can do with my personal work and what I like to do especially in this industry, personally, than like, you know, get typecasted into something that I don't want to do. Like, for example, when I was first working, when I was like a junior, I was kind of thrust into some pretty intense positions when I was working in Elena. When I was working on Elena Babylor, I was dealing with hundreds of character assets at once, which is like more than I've ever dealt with any other project. Usually it's just like a couple, but I was dealing with hundreds of character models, and I would have to, like, you know, get through a lot of these really fast. And in that situation, it was it's like I was kind of like typecast because I was like good at doing geometry hair very quickly, and I was good at certain like dresses and clothing and stuff like that, and that in itself wasn't really like what I liked to do. That wasn't like something that I was like super excited to do. And so then work kind of turned into this, like, I'm grateful for this job sort of thing, but also like it's like a sweatshop almost, right? Where I'm doing something that I just like, oh, and I was doing so much of it. Just because you're good at something doesn't necessarily mean you like doing it, right? And I got to do some like original you know, character models and stuff for that, but it ended up turning into like, okay, well, this outsourcing studio is doing a lot of stuff, and now you have to like, you know, just like get through all of this stuff. And that, like, that company, by the way, went under. It was like, it wasn't well managed or anything, but yeah. Kostuke, are you good, dude? You're having a bit of a meltdown there, buddy. The professional work is very similar to your style, right? That's why your socials also work as your portfolio to a degree, yeah. So if you can kind of tell by like the stuff that I have on my socials, it's sort of a range of different styles. The stylistic stuff is a lot of what I would do professionally because I was working in the animation industry. I've been working in the animation industry. I've only had a handful of actual creature contracts because the nature of it is like there's just not a ton of that work, right? There's a lot more animation work. Recently though, it's kind of things are going less in the route of like studios and like, you know, typical like what you'd expect, like, you know, big studios, and I find that there's like a lot more indie stuff happening, a lot more like YouTube based like studios, like startups and stuff like that. And then these studios will be hiring artists on contract basis, etc. So I don't know, maybe some of you know Glitch on YouTube. That's an example. I can speak for animation specifically. It's kind of where a lot of it has been heading. Industry revives. You're giving it 2 years and nothing changed. You're just gonna go downhill. It might be time to change fields. Oh man. I'm sorry that like you have to be thinking that way. I understand. And I wish that I could like just say, oh, it's all gonna be okay or whatever, but I don't really know, to be honest. It's like at the end of the day, you just gotta like look out for yourself. So if that means, you know, temporarily changing fields, it's not the end of the world. There's so many artists that I know, like so many, that they do art on as like a side thing or a nighttime, like what they call moonlighting or whatever, and they have like another job like that they do normally. You know what, some of them actually say that makes them happier, right? It's not like the end of the world, because some people say that makes them happier because that means they can focus on the art that they actually want to do. There's this kind of notion that like, yeah, you really like these movies and these games that you look up to, but it's like a really familiar story that like you get in and it's not exactly the same as what you had thought it was going to be. I mean, you're probably still super excited, super stoked. I mean, yeah, to see your stuff on the screen and everything like that, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world if you change up. Motorcycle courier came and went. Oh, to be a motorcycle courier, I guess. Was that a dream of yours? The moment he's designed, or for the moment he is destined to get arrested. This guy, what, because of the way that he's holding out his hands? Put the cuffs on me, officer! You refuse to go out like that, so now you just do stuff for yourself and it feels a lot more rewarding than having to do art. Yeah, I don't think, like, if you can't get a job doing art, like, I think, and you're like, oh, I'm just not gonna do art ever again because I can't get a job doing art. I think at the core you need to kind of look at, like, why were you doing art in the first place, right? Because, like I was saying earlier in the stream, when you are reductive to the point of, like, you know, art needs to be efficient and it needs to generate income, then that's where the burnout happens, because doing art for yourself and being efficient and productive and creating content and etc., they're not like the same, right? So as long as, like, you're realizing, like, okay, like, if I'm not able right now to make money off of this this thing that I really like doing for myself, if I can't make money off of that right now, I need to protect the fact that I like doing this and go and find another way to make that income while still having something for myself. Because if you let the world around you take every bit of joy from you because it doesn't create money, because it doesn't make there's no ROI, financial ROI, you know, then you're gonna run into a couple of walls in your life, and it gets pretty bad. It really does. So it's really important to just kind of try to separate the two. What's this creature that you are sculpting? Some sort of, like, rat man. I don't know. Hey John, how's it going? I know we're super official right now. So official, on the official, super professional looking. I'm behaved. Very limited butt talk today. You know what? I think we're gonna like pull out like a zygodactyl type thing. In your country, there's not much animation or 3D jobs. You're currently editing videos where you're trying to make illustrations to sell at con, maybe 3D printing stuff later. Yeah. I mean, and now too, like a lot of these companies that were a lot more global, like are kind of closing their walls, closing their doors, and things are like, oh yeah, you have to live in this country in order to have a job now. And it's, unless you're working for specifically outsourcing studios. So a lot, like I was saying before, a lot of things are turning into contract based where it looks like if you're gonna work remote now, or you know, maybe sometimes it's not even remote, it ends up being like you end up actually working in-house at an outsourcing studio. But a lot of outsourcing studios are kind of like these hubs now that studios are, you know, contracting the outsourcing studio to then get a collection of freelancers to then work on different things, especially when it comes to live service games, you know, really fast-paced TV content, etc. Like they are going to be working with a lot with like outsourcing studios, more so now than I think ever. Even though the overall, you know, content like that is being like contracted out is actually like, it seems like it's shrunk, it feels like it's shrunk, but a lot of it is like, yeah, outsourcing studios and stuff. So contract based work, etc. There are still obviously like in-house with studios full-time positions, but it is difficult to get those, and you have to be usually a resident of said country at this point. Like a lot of like doors have closed in terms of getting visas and things of that nature as well. Yeah, remote, but you need to live in the country. I know, it's like, or hybrid, you know, and it doesn't need to be that way, but it is. And a lot of it is because of tax incentives and also not wanting to pay for people's visas, and just a lot of like, yeah, walls that have been raised in a lot of different countries in terms of like, yeah, just there's an economic thing going on here, and the breakdown of the globalization of the industry, essentially. It's a lot of like cutoffs, a lot of walls. So we also deal with that, you know. We're not like in this industry, we don't exist in our own little chamber where any economic issue becomes just an animation or just a games industry issue. It's always something that you need to look at a with a bigger, wider lens, right? So that's why I always find it difficult to talk about, because I'm not like an economy expert. And people ask me like, oh, do you think the industry is gonna like get back on its feet? It's like, to really answer that question, I think you need to really have your ear down on the money, where that's going, what things, what's happening or anything like that. And I'm just, I can't be super focused on that. It's very draining. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and always remember that our little monkey brains can only process so many things at once. So when you think you have the full picture, the full answer on something, and you're dead set on it, usually there's something that we're missing, something else to consider, right? It's humbling. Cable turned into streaming, so exactly, it all follows the same path. All of it, it's all been following the exact same path, every industry like that. And then you can see how like the streaming services, like the streaming is not sustainable either. Like it's been kind of like having some issues in itself. So it's like there's gonna be an ebb and flow. I don't know how long a pain period ends up lasting in this situation, right? But something's gonna change eventually, and I don't know what that's gonna be. I don't know what that's gonna look like. And if anybody's telling you that they know for sure what the future's gonna look like, or oh, this is gonna get better at this time, or you know, you need to do this because this is what the future is, like look at them with with a skeptical eye, because no one really, like, no one knows. No one has the full picture of anything. Best thing that you can do is look out for yourself and your family, and get your income as you need it right now, and whatever that ends up being, as long as it's legal and you're not hurting yourself. You know? The future holds doom. Ah, the doomsayer. I don't know, it's pretty easy to like just like fall into sort of like this like helplessness, but at the end of the day, like I said, you really don't know what the next day and the next day and the next day is gonna hold. Literally anything can happen. So it's important to just keep on keeping on. I mean, that's what life is. You just put one foot in front of the other until you can't put your feet in front of the other anymore. That's really, like, let's be reductive here. That's what it is. And sometimes putting your feet anywhere is really difficult, but you just keep doing it because that's what it is. Hey, Kate! How are you doing? Rooting for the asteroid. Okay. Oh, man. I don't know. I carve away little pieces of joy for myself doing artwork. Like, you know, when I'm sculpting like this, drawing or painting, I don't think about those things. I don't think about the world around me so much, and I just get lost in this because it just makes me feel good. And I think if you get really overwhelmed with everything that's happening, it's good to just get lost in your own little world of art sometimes. A lot of times, actually. Do it a lot. Run away and do your art a lot. Art is healing. You need to do it. Steal back your time. Steal back. Take it back. This is yours. These little gnarly toes that I'm making right now, these are my little gnarly toes. No one can take them from me. They're my little gnarly toes. And they make me feel great. I feel so good sculpting little gnarly toes. No one's taking my gnarly toes away. Thank you, Kate. Do you know what's really funny? Is, you know how we were playing Outlast? Sorry, I saw your name pop up, and last night I was like trying to edit the Outlast VODs, the whistleblower ones, so that we don't see a certain something. I had to watch that scene so many times. I had to watch that scene over and over, and I was like positioning the blur, like the sensor. Oh man, I did put them up on YouTube though, but I'm just hoping the second one isn't gonna make me do something like that again. I was watching that so many times, it's like burned into my head. So bad. You never played the game? The VODs are up if you're curious. You're curious. I put it in the announcement section in Discord. The untold editor's POV. It was cursed. It's extremely cursed. I'm not good at editing either. I'm not an editor. So the VODs themselves are just VODs. It's just certain areas that I had to like... You're smuggling this Ratman species in and out? That's perfectly legal and moral. You should do lots of that. No one's plotting to take them bunion holders. I don't know, man. Some people might be into it. Yeah, frame by frame. Literally frame by frame. I was doing that. It was really awful. I had to listen to his voice over and over and over. Scrubbing through it too. The things that I do for you guys. feel the same way about making art and sculpting. You're in a burnout right now and you really struggle to pick up the pen for sculpting because it feels too much like work. I'm sorry. Sometimes you just need to like step away from it though, right? Like if you are getting into that, then try to do literally anything else and try not to look at whatever it is that you're doing as like you need to be efficient and maximize whatever it ends up being, you know? Just do things to relax and actually enjoy relaxing. It's okay if you're not constantly producing stuff. We're not built for that. We're just not. Like, nobody's a machine. When your mesh topology gets too messed up, you do Dynamesh or ZBrush. I would Dynamesh. You're gonna want to ZBrush when you want to start working in subdivision levels, and that's usually when you have everything you know, blocked out in Dynamesh already, and you're ready to start working at higher resolution and getting in a whole bunch of high fidelity detail. So if you're not at that point yet, I would Dynamesh. I give this guy like... Should I give him like a shirt? And like... pants or something? Like, what is this guy? Kind of a demon guy, is this? It's relatable to you. Industry stuff? Art stuff? Game stuff? Shane Olsen hat. But this isn't Shane. Shane doesn't look like this. Shane's a bear. This isn't a bear. I don't want to do him dirty like that. Also, hi, Neil. This is not a bear. Why does this look like a bear to you? Hmm? How does this look like a bear to you? Doesn't give bear at all. Do a Dynamesh. Fill it in. The goods. On a kick where everything needs a Shano hat. Fair. Fair. Should I work on the, tomorrow on my channel, should I work on the Sphinx some more, or do you want me to do another New Ball do Who Dis? Continue with the Sphinx, or New Ball Who Dis? You don't head off to bed? Alright, see you, Sonic. Have a good sleep. Thanks for dropping by. Whatever makes you the happiest. Aw. I'm giving the option. Giving the mic to the floor, man. Anything makes me happy. I'm streaming on my channel. Making me happy. You know how it is. What tablet do I have? A Wacom Cintiq 22 HD. It's an old one. 1080p. I'm not fancy with the rich people getting them's 4K or 2K Wacoms. I mean, that would be sick as hell, but no. Got that 1080p grinds that 1080p and it's doing fine. But because it's 1080p, what I end up having to do is shove in my work. If I'm doing like illustration, I shove it over onto my main screens, which are 2K screens, so that I can at least see like the details and stuff. What's the name of your creature? Yeah, give it a name. Right now he's just Rat Boy. But I'm sure you guys can get better with that. Rat Boy. The boys finale. It's the boys finale and you haven't even watched episode 1. This season isn't great, in my opinion. I don't know how they're gonna end it. Like, I'll watch that after stream. Because I just, like... They have 50 minutes to wrap a ridiculous amount of loose ends up. I don't know. Have you tried other brands other than Wacom? Not recently. No, not recently. How about Marvin? What? Oh, the name of this. I was like, Marvin. Marvin, Marvin works! I like Marvin for a name, actually. That works really good for him. Good job. Yeah, you know what? I see Marvin. I see Marvin. That's a good one. This is Marvin. Marvin Ratboy. No, Marvin Ratman. Ratman Marvin. There we go. There we go. Ratman Marvin. Hell yeah. Yummy, yummy. Hey, China. Marvin Radikowski. Ratman Marvin. Ratman Marvin Radikowski. He hangs out at the convenience store late at night, waiting for people to drop their cigarette butts so that he can eat them. Good lore, write this down. He's the dude with the gas can, asking for money, but knows he ain't got no car. Yeah, I can see him doing that. Honestly, he eats cigarette butts, you know? That's what these big teeth are for, so that he can kind of get into, like, the little cracks inside of the gas station. Like, ground. Like, all those, like, crevices, because they never pave it over. There's just a bunch of cracks everywhere. So that that's what these teeth are, so that you can get the cigarette butts that like land inside there, and then he eats them. The more used and nasty it is, the better. He just loves that. If it's a full cigarette that hasn't been smoked, he doesn't want that. He actually takes it to somebody, says, "You want a free smoke?" And then he waits until they smoke it. And then when they put it on the ground, then he eats it. He actually watches you smoke the cigarette, and then as soon as like you put it on the ground, like if you're gonna like put it into an ashtray, he's like, no, the ground, and step on it a whole bunch, and then he'll like ask you to step on it, and you step on it, and you like drive it into the concrete with your heel, and he's like, that was really nice, thank you. And then he eyes you as you slowly inch away from him. He grabs the concrete with his 4 paws. Gets right down there where the cigarette is, like on the ground. Opens his maw. Picks it up with a little tiny pluck from the ground. And then a big tongue comes out and goes eats that cigarette butt. And as he, you know, words of Marvin the Ratman Marvin says, 3 a.m. cigarette butts don't taste, they taste like heaven, you know, 3 a.m. cigarette butts. He's scrounging around at 2 p.m. and finds a cigarette butt, it just doesn't hit the same. It has to be 3 a.m. And then everybody who encounters Marvin, they honestly just think they're sleep deprived. Honestly, they just think they're sleep deprived, and they write him off as like, you know, he was never even there to begin with. That was just them having a bad dream. Behave? What do you mean? What do you mean? What did I say that's bad? I'm just giving him some flavor. Yeah, 2 feet from your face, exactly. Just breathing. Just like this, just... As you're smoking your cigarette, he's just here like... Are you done? It smells good when you exhale. He is joyfully smiling right now because he knows he's about to get your cigarette butt. He's so excited. Would your recommendation to being hired is to have a portfolio or more? Oh, it's like bare minimum to have a portfolio. Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely have to have a portfolio. Hey, Lorem, it's been 8 years since you started watching me 8 years ago? Oh my gosh. Let me go grab our canes. Welcome back. Yeah, I've been streaming over on my own channel recently. Hey, Eduardo. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. Sneeze. Hi Flo, how are you? These two, I could probably chunk them together. Merge this down. Thank you. How are you, Maurizia? Oh my god. I apologize if I'm like screwing up reading names right now. It's really hot in here and I feel like my brain's melting a little bit. How are you doing, Maritza? Is that how you say your name? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I actually feel like my brain is melting right now. It's so hot. That's why I haven't been bringing Monty on, is because it's like really hot in this room. Maritza. Maritza. There it is. We out here. You out here phonetically helping out this this in needs girl. It's really, you know, your name isn't difficult. It's me right now. I've said your name so many times too. You've heard me say your name like 100 times, and I'm just like here being like, I'm operating like I'm concussed with names right now. It's looking rad. Thanks. His skin is melting like I am. I don't know. Am I getting shiny too? Like I feel so sweaty. I need to set up the AC. This is like intense. Whew. 30 Celsius. Oh, yeah. Oh, you've got the mild weather. It's gonna be nasty over there. We've got the nasty right now. It's 30°C here. Like, we're supposed to be Canada. We're supposed to be better than this. May. It's not even June. I'm gonna die this year. The hand pose, little monster. Proud of his nails. He is. He's showing them off. Like, do you like? I just got them done. Now give me your cigarette butts. His name is Marvin. And he hangs out at the gas station and convenience stores at 3 a.m. waiting for people to drop their cigarette butts so that he can devour them. Well, I didn't say butt muncher, that's you. Technically correct, though. Technically, yes, butt muncher would be correct. But we're behaving here, so that's that. He's just Rat Man Marvin, right? Okay, 1 more hour. I can survive 1 more hour of heat. I can do it. It's all for you guys. All for you guys. I do it for you. His story and his pleasures. Hey Hinata, I am not sure what you're saying. Apologies. But it's pretty intense. Caps locking must be important. Can try in English, might be able to help you. Endurance sculpting new edition. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. You'd fare better than me with all the running that you've been doing. You'd fare a lot better than me. You've got the endurance, dude. I am melting. It's like sauna sculpting. Oh, there's the boy. He's mad that the world exists again. Oh, mad that the world exists. Oh, so mad that the world exists. Angry. How dare the world exist? They said if you have a cleaner for PVC. Brother, my friend, Hinata. My friend. Don't know what you're asking for. No, it's too hot in here, Reaper. I need to set up the AC. He does not want to be in this heat. Oh my god, dude. Okay, I need you to chill. Where is YouTube? Who is this PVC person? What is going on here? What did you say? What are you talking about? What is this person saying? Wait, let me... Why are you advertising your PVC cleaner in a ZBrush stream? My dude. Stop. Stop it. Go away. That's too much. That's weird. Does he get a puppy pool in the heat? We don't have a puppy pool, and he's not like a fan of the water. What he does get is a lot of ice cubes. He loves his ice cubes. He plays with his ice cubes all the time. Amazing sculpt. Try. No, absolutely not. I'm gonna time you out too. You start telling me to put my things through AI, I'm gonna time you out. Nader, try again. Try again. Say, I rebuke AI. If you don't do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna race. I'm gonna do it. Try it again. Don't you be telling me to be putting my shit through my stuff through AI. Don't be doing it. It's also like a really backhanded compliment. Like, really backhanded compliment if you're telling somebody, wow, your stuff is so good. You know what would make it better? Making it not yours. Good job, guy. Struggling a lot in hard surface retopology stuff. Retopology just takes like time in general to do right. Be kind with yourself. Just approach it like low first. Get your main stuff in and yeah. No, Nader, you are incorrect. You are not in charge. It might be more efficient. You know, and I have already addressed in this stream why you should not be conflating efficiency with your own artwork, because that will lead to burnout and you will start to hate the work that you do. It will no longer be yours. You will feel less into control. You are not in control. You are just under the illusion that you are in control of something like that. It's an absolutely backhanded compliment, though, to tell an artist that they're doing a great job, that you like what they're doing, and then telling them, oh yeah, but I think you need to be more efficient about it. I think you need to take what you're doing and put it in a garburator. Regardless of if you view it as a garburator or not, it doesn't change the fact that you are completely changing the output into something that is essentially a glorified filter. So no, I will not be running my art through comfy UI and a whole bunch of AI models to, in quotes, style change at the end, because I want to be in charge of everything that I do. And using AI completely removes an entire aspect of yourself as an artist. So if that's like your whole thing is, I don't actually want to be in the final product, go for it, man. Go for it. If you want like a data set to control the output of your artwork, you go for it. If you don't want it to look like yours and you want it to look like everybody else's out there, go for it. Your prerogative, right? But don't make that suggestion to other people. I don't think that's like, a lot of people that I know, if they hear that from somebody, like regardless of your intention, because maybe it makes you feel good about yourself to run your art through AI, other artists who genuinely put their like entire lives into this and want like feel good making things, when you tell them, hey, that looks good, but I think it would be better if you throw it into AI, you're saying, I think that your work would be better if it was less you. And that sucks. That just really sucks overall. So it's not really a nice thing to say to artists. That like AI, using AI in your artwork for efficiency purposes, again, comes down to creating content rather than actual like artwork that is for you and speaks to you. If you're using it for your personal work, you're actually taking away a lot of the whole purpose of making art for yourself in the first place. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into, like, at this point, everybody should understand that it is not consensual. Like the whole idea of, you know, like these AI data sets only exist off of non-consensual scraping, right? Like it's not like we're all in here being like, yes, I want my stuff to, like, nobody opted in. So there's no argument there that it is non-consensual to begin with. So that should just be a given at this point. And a lot of people just want to, they're like, yeah, but it's an efficiency, it's so efficient, it's efficient. And if you're viewing efficiency above all else when it comes to art, then you're not making art for you, you're making content, right? That's not the same thing. If you're reducing everything, if you're being reductive down to efficiency, that's not creativity, right? And creativity is a weird thing. It's very subjective, but it's also something that you are doing. You're creating, you're taking things and making something new. Something that is a data set is not doing that. It doesn't think like a person. It doesn't have a conscious. It's just a parrot efficiency machine, right? And so it's not doing that. It's just regurgitating things that already exist. That's its whole purpose, is regurgitating things that already exist. So if you're also coming in to tell an artist that their art would be better if you just threw it into this thing that regurgitates and makes things look the same as everything else off of stolen art to begin with, you can see how that is not really a compliment, right? That's not a compliment. That just sucks. Don't do that, please. Hey, Jug. What are you doing? How are you doing? How's it going? Use different software that you're not using right now and ruin your creative workflow. Let me help by not helping. Like, anyways, whatever. Like, I understand, like, just to give, like, charity to the entire argument of, like, why people come in and say stuff like that, just to give charity, I understand that it makes them feel good. It's been making them feel like they have that idea of creativity. Like, it makes them feel like they're doing that. And so then, you know, they see something and it gets them excited. You know, some good art usually makes other people motivated to do their own, you know, like that's what I want to do with my streams a lot of the time, is when I'm sculpting, get people like interested and wanting to do something themselves, make something themselves, because you see something that you really like and somebody's good at doing something, you're like, oh my gosh, that gives me inspiration, I want to do that too. Seeing somebody else do that with their own hands is like such a like motivator, and so many of you also sculpt along with me while I'm doing these kinds of things because of that reason. You're like, hey, you make something from a sphere, I can do that too, and you absolutely can. Whereas like, you know, AI, you're not seeing somebody do something, you're really not. It's not the same thing at all. It's but the idea, like the feeling, like, oh, the production, the final output, everything that I've been doing on these streams, it's really less about the final output and more about just the doing itself and sketching and discovery and the actual creativity behind the working thought process, all of it, just when you first start a sketch, rather than, you know, typing a prompt or doing a remix of something that you've made to try and just be efficient by creating a final product, because that's not what it's about. Not with these. We're not trying to be super efficient here. We're trying to, you know, be free of that in a sense, and not have to be bogged down with like this feeling of like constantly having to produce, be better, you know, better results. And the thing is, like, if everybody is running their stuff through AI, okay, everything's gonna homogenize, and it's a race to the bottom. Because if you are using a machine to create the perfect image, people aren't making perfect images, and that's kind of also the beauty of it, right? But if you're trying to make the perfect image, everybody's making the perfect image, nothing stands out anymore. You know, like what ends up being beautiful? What ends up speaking to people? What does it even mean anymore? It's just a race to the bottom. Like, it's always going to be worth it to do your own work, and I know that like just that one comment got me going off about this, but I need to say it. I haven't been saying it for a little while. I've taken a break from talking about this because it is exhausting, but it's like a lot of people just, I guess, don't really understand how that's just not a compliment. And it's not rooted in fear, as, you know, you hear so often, like, oh, artists are just afraid. No, it's exhausting and it's frustrating. It's not fear. It's just kind of gross. Like, you're essentially telling me to just like be like, oh, well, McDonald's is faster. Why don't you just eat that every day? Like, what the? Literally, what the hell? Look at this pointy butt. Distract yourself with the pointy butt. Nader, you're still stuck. You're still stuck, dude. You're stuck on this recursive thought that, you know, efficiency equals better, more equals better, right? You need to get out of that. That is not what we're talking about here. And if you can't wrap your head around what I'm trying to say, that's the entire divide. That's why a lot of people who are super gung-ho about AI just guzzling it, just being like, oh my god, I love AI. It makes everything so much better. And artists are afraid and they suck, actually, because they're so anti. The whole reason there's a divide is because you're not trying to make that you're not trying to bridge that gap. You're not trying to understand why we're upset about it. Because you keep saying the same thing and all I'm hearing is efficiency equals better, and that is counter to everything that is doing art for the sake of doing art, right? High cortisol. Like, with that mentality, it is absolutely a race to the bottom. If everything in your life revolves around, and our world does revolve around maximizing efficiency, think about it. Think down the line. If you are maximizing efficiency in every way, shape, or form, what room is there for something imperfect such as a human being? We are no longer a part of that supply chain. It will run itself, it creates itself, etc. And there's no more room for a person, because a person is not efficient by a person's nature. A human being's nature is imperfect. It's a race to the bottom. So in order to be an artist for yourself and actually enjoy art, you need to stop being so obsessed with efficiency. You have to. If you don't adapt, you're gonna be left behind. You're just a parrot, bro. How do you not understand that? Like, you're just regurgitating. Unironically, you're using AI, which is a regurgitation machine, and you're just regurgitating what they're advertising to you right now, because that's really all it is a big advertisement. The more fear they instill in people of being left behind, of not being able to adapt. Do you understand that this is non-consensual for you as well? Who's deciding that we all have to use AI? Who's making this decision? How come we don't get to decide that? Right? You do understand that you are parroting what they're telling you to be afraid of yourself. It's ironic because they say that artists are afraid, but really I think the people who are adapting AI are the most afraid. They're just using the optimism, tech optimism, as sort of like this weird mask. Like, no, I'm just excited about the future. Really, I think if you're repeating over and over again that you're going to be left behind, that sounds like fear to me. I think you need to just like relax. Just relax. Like, it's not like that. You don't need to do that. I think if anything, like a lot of people are being de-skilled because of it. Anyways, I'm gonna move on from this. I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes to wrap up your AI conversations, but overall, I don't think that we should like keep talking about it. It is a very redundant topic. If you are super into AI, I do not think you're gonna enjoy the artwork that I do. I am very actively against specifically generative AI. This is another thing that people do not understand, that there is a difference between AI, like video game characters using AI, etc., and the generative models. I'm against generative models. So if you're super into that and gung-ho, please just go find somebody else to bother about that. You're not gonna get an inch from me. It's not gonna happen. I'm not for that. I don't want to use it. I'm not gonna be using it in the future anytime soon. I'm good, dude. Yeah, no one is. I agree. But yeah, let's talk about some other stuff. Subject change. Grotesquely cute with the larva for this fella bee. The larva. Dude, you think he would be a larva? For real? Probably. You know what? It kind of gives... You know those beetles? The Hercules beetles that are, like, when they're, like, the pupae? The kind of, like, red-looking crunchy thing? It kind of has that going on, so I could see that. Like the Hercules beetle kind of pupa-looking thing. Anyways, guys, also, I really don't talk a whole lot about the forbidden gross topic that we were just talking about on my own channel. So if you want to talk more about butts and less about the butts of the world, you can come and hang out on my own channel, which is, I'll drop it for you. I'm gonna be live tomorrow, by the way, on my own channel. I'm live over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/a_cubed, A_cubed, every Monday and Thursday from 4 to 8 p.m. EST. So, and we've got a really dope, free to use emote. Anyways, pointy butts. Yeah, this guy, he's got the like anti-sitting gene. He's not allowed to sit. Oh, and Friday. Yeah, I always forget. Fridays are game nights. This Friday we're playing Outlast 2. So we've already played Outlast 1. That was traumatic. Now we're gonna play Outlast 2. I'm sure it's gonna be very family friendly and extremely normal. And not traumatic at all. Your Dramamine for hopefully it's not gonna like give you motion sickness. If it does, like you don't have to. It's okay, Leonard. It might be better though. Like maybe it was just like that old game, the older one, and that like the newer one, maybe it won't be as bad. Maybe it'll be worse actually. I don't know. But if you're having a hard time, you don't have to force your way through it. I understand. You're on a streak. The streak still counts. Like even if you miss like one stream, it'll still count, I think, for the next one. Don't worry. You're fine. I won't be hurt. What shader do I sculpt in? This is just matte cap. Gray. Greetings from Siberia. Hi, Eosipov. Apologies for my inability to say names today. I mentioned earlier I'm literally like melting. Like fighting my brain. Actually, how do you fight your brain? You are your brain. You know, he'd just be like, you know, honestly, like just standing there doing like this with his fingies. Just the motion blur. The first one you can't take it off. You can't it's because it gets really the motion sickness. I don't get it, but Leonard said he was quite annoyed with it, which is very understandable because the actual movement in Outlast 1 is very like you're bobbing around a lot, and you, like everything is through like a camcorder. Alright, what else should I add to this dude? What does he need? What does he need, everybody? I don't want to give him a silly hat. I don't want to. Give me something else. A tutu. He wouldn't be able to fit in a tutu because of his spike butt. Maybe I'll just work on his, like, on his face. Get these looking kind of dope. Does he have a tongue? I guess I could put a tongue in. Yeah. I mean, I was saying that, wasn't I? Was saying that he'd slurp up them ciggy butts. It is so hot in here. It is so insanely hot. Dude, he would have the driest mouth too. Holy. Holy, this guy's got, like, the world's driest mouth. I do not envy him. His tongue is probably, like, leather. Yeah, it's definitely the watching. Yeah, I totally understand that, Leonard. W mouth breather. Absolutely. Absolutely a mouth breather. Oh my god. Like, I could just, like, put a whole bunch of cracks in this guy's, like, tongue, because holy, it would be so dry. Your sculpts are concept illustrations because you're cheating these figures you're working on. Yeah, man. Just, you know, make some mitts. Like me. Just make some mitts. Make them suggestive. Could crunch some walnuts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, this is the Swiss cheese thing that I was talking to you about, because there's like non-manifold geometry going on somewhere. So what you do is Control Z, and then go down to geometry, mesh integrity, and then say fix mesh, and then you're good to go. Hi, do you sculpt here often? Wow, Thirsty Dragon! It's like I've never seen you before! Oh my goodness! Who are you? Wow! How are you? Welcome to the channel! Wow! Wow, Thirsty! Wow! Thirsty's like, I haven't gotten my attention! Give me attention! I haven't gotten attention today! Yes, same here. I'm like melting. I'm so sweaty. It's actually disgusting. Like I feel like I can barely think right now. I need to set up the AC after this so bad. It's gonna be so jank too because I don't have a proper system working on that thing anymore because it's the printer, the 3D printer. Oh la la! Don't worry, he doesn't bite. You know what he does do? You know what he does do? He gets cigarette butts from the cracks of cement at 3 a.m. in the gas station parking lot. That's what he does. He's not gonna bite you. Unless like you keep the cigarette butt in your mouth and you don't drop it for him when he asks. He's harmless. But you have to smoke the cigarette. If he brings you a cigarette, you have to smoke it because he can't smoke. You see this face? You see this face? Does this look like a mouth that can smoke a cigarette? No, he can't. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna bring you a cigarette at 3 a.m. at the gas station, tell you to smoke the entire thing, drop it onto the ground into the concrete, and with your heel, rub it in a whole bunch so it goes everywhere, just so that he can pick it up with his little teepees and eat it. So then that's how he gets his fix. So if you don't drop the cigarette afterwards, then he's gonna bite you. He wants that. Ratman Marvin is out here asking for the cigarette butts. If you're at a gas station at 3 a.m., you deserve whatever you get. Hey man, different walks of life, okay? You don't know what these people are going through. Marvin does, though. Marvin knows everything. Reminds you of the Del Toro Hellboy. Oh, Del Toro's Hellboy? Nice. Those are great. I can see that. This one you think is more interesting than the horse I've done? Yeah, the horse was like, you know, the horse was a while ago, wasn't it? Or what were you? Which horse were you talking about? I've done so many horses. I think the horse that I did on this channel, right? For the New Year sculpt. This is how Marvin's story began. He could have his own series. I can imagine it as like an Adult Swim thing. It's just where he appears on Smiling Friends. How far can knowing only human anatomy get you into sculpting creatures? You can sculpt things like zombies and stuff like that with knowing just human anatomy, but once you you'll start to hit a wall. I mean, if you wanted to do something that is animal-esque, you're gonna have some hard time. Like, it's good to do some studies of animals. So like when you do have I mean, like, you don't need to go out of your way and specifically study every animal out there. That's kind of ridiculous. Like, if that's like interesting to you though, do that. But as a project comes up that you want to approach, like let's say it's like, you know, got like it's a half, I don't know, let's just take a sphinx for example. You got to do cat studies then. Just do a couple of cat studies so that you understand the anatomy of it, and then have references of cats as you're doing your work, right? It's very good to do studies of something for a project before you start your project anyways. So you could do that with, like, you know, just quick sculpts like I'm doing. You don't need to make them full projects or anything, but just to understand how it functions. If you look at like animations too, a lot of the time before a character design was created, even just for a 2D animation, a lot of studies are conducted, you know, be it like life drawing or just like simple like mechanics and how to simplify anatomy and what that will look like, you know, stylistically. You create a style bible based on that. You don't need to do all of this, right, per project, but I'm just saying that doing a study so that you have that knowledge up front right before you start something that is more animal based can really help. And eventually it becomes second nature. So the more that you do, the better it gets. But you don't need to like be like this animal expert right off the bat. No worries, Cosmic. A lot of human anatomy is transferable. Yep. Yep, it is. It is all of mammals. Mammals. The reason why we're all mammals is because we have kind of come from, sorry creationists, but we all come from the same pool, right? So our bone structure and everything is just rearranged according to our use case as a mammal. So human beings being a mammal as well. You know, we're animals too. Our bones are just in a different setup. Sorry, my brain is literally melting right now. Just a different setup than everything else. Like, even if you look at a whale is also a mammal, but you will see our hands are its fins, like its big flippers, right? Like, you can see the bone structure of the whale's flippy flappy, and it literally is hands, but they're grown a different way. They've evolved for their use case, right? Yeah, the whale flippy flaps. Sorry, my brain, it's melting right now. It's so hot in here. I'm struggling to speak. I'm doing my best, guys. Good morning, Torta. How are you? We're gonna be ending in 10 minutes here. Actually. Practicing other styles is helpful as well once you learn human anatomy, trying different genre, age, weight, gender, nationalities, lots to build upon. I agree. I 100% agree. There's so much variety within different styles, and then also just like within one style. Like if you're doing more like a little bit of like a stylized realism, because like let's be honest, like any kind of like realism that anybody attempts as an artist, like you're doing it a little bit stylized anyways, unless you're specifically going for hyper real, in which case you're using like scans and stuff like that. Some people will do it without scans and they will approach hyper real, but most of the time there is a level of stylization to everything that you will be doing. But let's just say, for the sake of argument's sake, that you're going towards a more realistic style. Even within more realism, there is so much variety to explore within just one topic as well. Like, you don't need to limit yourself to just one type of thing. I mean, like, again, if you really like one subject matter, that's great. That's your comfort zone. But if you want to start exploring other things and grow even more, because that comfort zone, right? Like, that can get even stronger. Your main muse can become even better and something that you're even more proud of if you reach outside of your comfort zone, right? So yeah, dude, his stuff is really cool. Yeah. Hi, Snoro. You're wondering how I achieve this melty texture on the body. Is it a specific brush? A lot of it is Damien Standard and Inflate. That's mostly what I've been using. A tiny little bit of the Geosoft Forms, which is a free brush that you can get from Hablander Academy, but otherwise, yeah, it's mostly stuff. Yeah, you don't really need that to get this look. You just need Damien Standard and the inflate brush. Remember the muscle shapes? Yeah. Not just the muscles, but the bones, man. Mammals all share the same bones, pretty much. Pretty much. Bucket, right? Make the hands a little bit bigger. Depends on the style that you're going for and the look that you're going for. Sometimes tiny hands are definitely the answer, especially if you're doing like a really big, like if you're exaggerating like a big character, and you kind of want to like exaggerate that size or the heftiness of it. Sometimes making the hands really tiny helps to push that, like your focus is less on the hands. Like the hands itself, extremely expressive, but you have to pick and choose, especially depending on the style that you're going for. What aspect of the body do you want to help convey the character the most? Like if we're talking about like maybe like a sumo wrestler type character, they're very hefty, right? In which case you wouldn't want, like maybe sometimes you would want really big, strong hands. Like maybe he's like part of like he commands a lot of, like there's a lot of intimidation there, but you know, sometimes you might see in some situations where they have smaller hands, and that can actually help to portray a sense of softness and a more timid character rather than like these big strong hands, right? So it really just depends on like what you're going for and what you're trying to like sell with what you're achieving as like a character design. So big hands isn't always the answer, but hands being large is very expressive to be. I like giant hands, like I love hands, so I make my hands pretty big a lot of the time. But when it comes to a character that is supposed to be more of like maybe more timid and like sometimes even heftier, then the hands I'll make them smaller to kind of sell that. If that makes sense. Like this guy, if he had like really huge hands, it would give a different look than if he had like really tiny hands, right? It's like a lot of people think, oh, the expressions and the expressiveness comes from the face. The hands, I would say, are the second part of the body that, besides like the facial expressions, that you can actually get emotion and communicate with. Obviously the silhouette of your character as well. You know, the first read is really important, but when it comes to characterization, there's so much that resides in the hands themselves. So the general sweep, I don't think is like, I wouldn't say like generally speaking for character design, I don't know what context you're talking about, but in terms of character design, it's not like, I wouldn't say that that's the advice that I would give, is just make the hands bigger across the board, because it's always use case. But maybe when it comes to doing like, you know, when you're talking about like just anatomy, like, and you're doing a just a straight up like body of a person and you're studying anatomy, just to make it look better, sometimes like enlarging the hands and feet does help that, because it's more of like an idealized proportion. If you do realistic human proportions, like I mean like realistic, like if you look at a scan of a person, you actually might look at that and be like, hey, that looks wrong. Is that really, like, I think it should be taller, I think the femurs should be longer, you know? Like you might look at it and you might feel wrong, because like especially the legs to the torso proportion, for a lot of people it's not idealized, and that doesn't mean that like it's ugly or anything. It just means that normally in media what we're used to seeing is like superhero proportions or model proportions, where it's not actually realistic, but we've been conditioned to believe that it is. And in that case, the idealized sort of like pleasant way to look at a general human body would, yes, enlarge the hands and feet, and sometimes even the head. Sometimes you want the head smaller if you want more of like a broad shoulder approach. Again, it's all dependent on character design. I'm coming from a character design point of view, right? Okay, well, we're at the end here anyway, so I'm just gonna put this guy around on the screen. That's what we did today. Some guy. Look at him. Conversing with himself, waiting for the cigarette butts. Alright, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. It was mostly a blast. Mostly. If you are interested in hanging out with me further, I don't stream on this channel as much anymore. I'll probably do it once a month here and there, right? Just, you know, just for volunteer stuff. If you are interested in following me though further, come and hang out on my stream. I'll put it in the chat right here. I stream on my own channel every Monday and Thursday from 4 to 8 p.m. And I also stream occasionally on Fridays as well. We do game streams. So go ahead and follow me there if you want more of that. Or any of my socials, acubed.art/links right here. You can get any of my socials if you want to see my artwork. And then if you aren't already following Maxon right where you're watching right now, then definitely follow them, because there's a whole bunch of other artists that stream here when they have the time. They have different workflows, extremely talented, lots of advice to help you out with your ZBrush needs. All right, thank you all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? All right, bye everybody. Bye.